Good morning and welcome to the January 13th edition of the Gold Goats and Guns Short News. My name is Tom Luongo. This morning we've got a lot to talk about because I want to talk about what we're going to be doing going forward with streaming and why we're doing what we're doing and why it's going to change for the foreseeable future. Hold on for just a second. My wife is now texting me right as I go live because, of course, that's exactly what I have to do. So, alrighty then. I want to talk about DLive, and I want to talk about why we're doing this now. This stream is going out simulcast over 3 different platforms, and YouTube, Periscope, and DLive. And from this point forward, I want you to understand that I'm going to be not responding to comments on the other platforms. And there's a good reason why. And there's a very good reason why. And I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted. I'm like trying to manage 2 or 3 different platforms at the same time. So going forward, we're going to explain what this DLive thing is, why it works. We did a test stream last night. It was incredibly successful. We went for an hour and a half, and it was just a great amount of fun, and it worked really, really well. So we didn't have any technical glitches. I can put the whole thing out through Restream, but the important thing here is that we're doing this from that platform going forward. So if you're on YouTube right now, pop on over to DLive because I'm going to explain why it's important you watch the stream from there as opposed to watching it on YouTube or Periscope. And it really comes down to ownership and earning. Okay, if you really want to support what I do and support yourself in how you're voting with your time. Did I just say January? Well, whatever. Then we need to do it this way. And I'm going to explain why now. YouTube doesn't care about you. YouTube only cares about making money for Google. And as a matter of fact, YouTube has gotten to the point where now, and Google have gotten to the point where they seriously don't care about you to the point where they actually want you off their platform. Or they want to just milk you as cows for advertising. And they don't really care about anything else. So earlier this week, it was announced by PewDiePie that he's leaving YouTube, and good on him for doing so. And I'm going to explain, I know why he's doing this. So, DLive is a blockchain-based streaming service. It's very cool. It's very easy to use. It's very easy to set up. The interface is relatively good. We've got work to do on the interface, certainly. But everybody involved in the process gets paid for being a part of the stream. Okay? You as viewers, if you're watching this from the mobile app, on a regular basis, a timer is going off. As you watch me or anybody else on DLive, you're going to be earning points for doing so. Okay? And you're going to be able to, cash those in as you're watching and banking them to your account. And this works for you in 2 different ways. Or you could just go ahead and buy points if you want. They cost a little over a penny a piece. But if you don't want to, if you want to be, cheap about it, you're more than welcome to. Because no one is harmed if you don't, support with your Benjamins. Because here's the gig. The more people that watch the stream, at the end of the 7 days after this stream is finished, it's going to be part of the potential reward pool, similar to the way Steam it operates. There will be a reward pool that will go. The blockchain will move forward. Will hit that point, and everybody who streamed over that 7-day period will get paid the reward pool that's accumulated based on the number of people who watched it. How many people liked it, how much they donated to the stream, and the voting power of the people in the stream. And your own voting power, which I'll explain how you accumulate that as well in just a minute. And so there's going to be, the contributors get paid every 7 days after the stream is finished. on top of any donations that come to the streamer during the stream itself. So we get paid coming and going. When you donate to me or any other contributor, I'm going to immediately see 91, just under 91%. The other 9.1% goes to the reward pool to be doled out later on. And doled out to people who have locked away points that they've earned or bought. They're also going to get paid for the amount of time that they, based on the amount of interaction that they have with the streams. So it's important that you see it from that perspective. So if you're on, again, I'm going to continue to say this, if you're on YouTube right now and don't have a DLive account, please go and make one. It's very, very simple. Just, it's a very simple thing. And you also have to make a Lino account, which is the cryptocurrency that backs the entire project. And that's also very simple. And as you're making a Lino account simply to open up a Lino wallet. This is live. Yes, it is. So I'm doing this now because I finally was able to wrap my head around the entire thing after I got done last night. And thank you all for who've showed up for following and all that. I greatly appreciate it. So as this is going on, if you're watching on the mobile app, because it doesn't work for the desktop at this point, they're still in beta on this. The little treasure chest, every time that thing fills, bing, you get it, and you're going to get a point or 2 points or whatever it is. You're going to make a penny. Okay, whatever. It's yours. Okay, if you lock the points away, you're going to build up just similar to Steam power over time. Effectively, you're going to make more in terms of contributor points at the end of every 7 days when the streams are paid out, and you'll have more points with which to then donate and build and help support the people that you approve of. The point being, and then all of this, of course, this network has obviously got it's obviously got costs. And what DLive has done is very similar to Steam, in that what they've done is up front, they've just said, this is the part of, you're going to get all of this. This is everything you guys spend and earn. You're going to be able to keep and earn for yourself and distribute and do with as you will. The reward pool, however, the total reward pool will be bigger than what is doled out to the owners of the network, of the people who have points. And locked points are effectively voting shares in the network. Similar, just the same way that you bank Steam power, it gives you the ability to vote on witnesses and all of that stuff. So it's definitely a proof of stake based system. So now, when you've, as you bank points and as you build, a reputation, we're feeding back on it's a feedback system ultimately. So we're all earning. Now the thing is that, as I said, the bandwidth costs for all this have to be paid. So the total reward pool is going to be some number higher than what's actually doled out to us. But we get 100% of that portion of the reward pool, and then the rest of it is abstracted away to cover the cost of the company itself. And that's that. And that's exactly the way Steam operates. Okay. Exactly the way Steam operates. Okay. So now, is it a model that's going to be successful? I don't know. I don't know if the business model is exactly correct or not. I don't know if they have all their ducks in a row. I assume that they do, but there's no harm in moving to another platform that actually is rewarding you for what you're doing. Because now let's go back to PewDiePie. Think about how much money PewDiePie is making Google with 93 million followers, and God knows how many people actually follow him during any one particular stream, right? It's God knows how many. God knows. I don't know. I don't watch PewDiePie. My daughter actually does, interestingly enough. And he probably makes Google hundreds of millions of dollars. Of that, he probably sees 5%. Any super chats he gets, Google takes 30% of those. Understand that whatever you donate to me or PewDiePie or anybody else on this service goes directly to me. Okay? I'm going to see 91% of whatever you give me. All right? The other 9% goes into the reward pool, and I'll see a portion of that, because all the money that was donated to me last night, and I appreciate everybody who donated. You know, last night's stream was worth a little over $21 actually. So I've already put all that and banked it away, because I'm going to take the money that y'all give me and I'm going to use that to build a service. I'm seeing on YouTube right now, Dave Dahlman asking me that the DLive already banned Alex Jones, and their terms of service have covered all leftist points of view. It does concern me. He asked me, his platform was funded by China. Does any of this concern you? It does. I'm not gonna mince words. I read through the terms of service last night. Wasn't happy about it, but it's no better or worse than what we currently have. What I'm trying to do is, Sandy, if you don't know who PewDiePie is and you don't understand YouTube culture, I just go 93 million viewers. He's just some dude, and he's the biggest streamer on the internet. But back to Dave Dahlman's point on YouTube. It concerns me like everything else in this life, but it's a way forward. And right now, the shadow banning on YouTube has gotten so out of control that we can't grow our audiences. Okay? We can't. Since, I'll give you an idea, I talked about this last night. For the past month or so, I haven't garnered one new follower on YouTube up until about 3 days ago, when PewDiePie announced that he was moving to DLive exclusively. And two, I started covering Julian Assange. But at the same time, I was covering Brexit, the other biggest story in politics, for the last month. Did I see one net subscriber from it? No. In the last 48 hours, I've seen almost 30 new subscribers on YouTube. So the shadow banning is real, and it's out of control, and it needs to stop. And whatever we can do, and even if DLive isn't a permanent solution, that's fine. Not a big deal. Points that are banked, I can immediately, points that are banked will take me a few weeks to pull out and convert into dollars and pull and get, and eventually I'll get paid for them. It is what it is. But in the last month, I've had nothing but problems with the streams being out of sync, people not getting the notifications, technical issues keep getting worse and worse and worse. And I'm at that point where it doesn't make sense to even try and do anything else. I'm not a huge fan of what they've done so far. I'm not crazy about their terms of service. But until they start shadow banning me, which, given the way the platform is built, it's not really designed around a search engine. So it's still going to be up to me to build an audience, but at least I'll be able to build an audience honestly. So stuff does bother me, but it's pointing in the right direction. Because if they do it wrong and they just become another YouTube and they become just another, SJW, shitlib platform, well, we'll move to something else. Because when you start to really process this, if you've built an audience that matters and you've built an audience that cares, and I do believe at this point that as small as my audience is, y'all care. And I adore you all for doing it. And I adore, I adore the process. But even just turning what I do on a regular basis and been doing for nearly 3 years now, Monday nights at 8, Friday nights at 8:30, come hell or high water, I'm here on you. I'm here doing this. And I know you weren't. I'm doing this. And the funny thing is that last night, for the first time, I actually got paid for doing it. In some small way. I mean, Periscope, people used to give you super hearts, but in order to even begin the monetization process, you had to accumulate more super hearts than I would ever accumulate in a lifetime. Because, I mean, Periscope just routinely locks me out of my app. And then the people don't even get notifications. They don't watch me on the platform. I've been on that platform for 3 years, and I have a smaller audience now than when I started. So it is what it is. It's not going to be easy. No one ever said it was going to be easy. And it's crazy. I keep hearing, and all we can do at this point is to continue to try as hard as we can to support platforms that meet our ethos. And we either do so, you know, we either continue to do it or we don't do it. It's just that simple. And, you know, no, like I said, it's not going to be easy. No one ever said that taking back your society from these, you know, from the forces of control was going to be easy. So if we have to keep, you know, plugging along and doing what we're doing, and they can put roadblocks up in front of us, well, you know, we'll get around them. It's what technology's for. It's one of the fundamental, what's the word I'm looking for? It's one of the fundamental theses of this channel and of my work and everything else. Is at the end of the day, if you know what your goals are and you're willing to put yourself into it, then you do what you need to do. And if they put roadblocks up in front of you, you don't get angry. You don't get upset. That's a waste of your time and it's a waste of your energy. You find the next thing you have to, as best as you can, and you move on. And the move to DLive was as easy as anything. It wasn't like, you know, moving to like something like Minds or trying to get people to move over to Steam as their social media platform, because frankly, you know, unless you use them as your exclusive blogging platform, they're really hard to monetize well. And it's, you know, there is nothing worse than spending your time and working really hard to put together content and pour your heart into it and spend all day thinking about what the ramifications of this little thing that somebody said, you know, in a press conference, and then turn that into a 20-minute stream that is engaging and interesting to both you and your audience. To then turn around and have YouTube purposely put the freaking thing up out of sync. Like, I'm not playing that game so that, you know, people look at me like I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, or I can't do basic freaking math. I can't do, you know, basic, you know, software manipulation. Stupid. Subscriptions are different, Alex Grant. So Alex Grant is asking on YouTube, he followed me. Following is different than subs. I don't qualify for subs yet. I have to get at least 200 followers on DLive before you can sub. And I think with subbing is probably it's going to be that next level where you can donate X number of points to me per month or whatever. I don't know what subscriptions look like yet because I'm not available to them. So that's not what it's for. I think it's another level of creator support at this point. So, and welcome to DLive. Well, thank you, JJT Buck. I appreciate the invite. So understand that this is a system that's rewarding you for watching me rant into a microphone, possibly even educate you along the way. And to make maximum benefit of it for you and for everybody else, you have to use the mobile app at this point, because that's where the treasure chest is bangable. Because it looks to me like it fills just by watching it every minute or 2 minutes. I'm not really sure what I didn't time it yet. And then, you know, and then it starts to refill. Every time you comment, it goes up. Every time you donate, it goes up. And so you're going to make points based on that. And then you can either bank them, or you can immediately then turn around and donate them, or do whatever you want to with them. And it's your choice. You do some math and you start thinking about, you know, what people are making, what the potential revenue stream is here. Let's give you some numbers. Even if it's 1 point every 2 minutes. I do an average of 2 65-minute streams every week, and then other small ones like this, shorter ones like this one. If you're watching that entire time, and I've got an average audience of somewhere around, on YouTube, it's around 80 to 85 people, maybe 90 people. You're making, you know, each stream at that point, you got 90 people, that's 45 cents an hour. Or 45 cents a minute times 60 minutes. is about $30 an hour. That's good money. If you guys were to take all that money and donate it to me just for watching the stream, that's the level of remuneration the streams are then worth. I can then just, if you do nothing but donate the liner that you make by watching, it'd come up to almost 30 bucks an hour. $30 an hour is good money, and that's me. Now you can imagine how much money PewDiePie's making. Even if you say, okay, well, fine, the people only donate, half the points that they make that night, or a third of the points. Fine, $10 an hour. All of a sudden, 2 streams a week is a $100 a month business. That's not including contributor rewards later on. It's not contributing anything, not counting anything that people want to donate or anything else. You can see the power of this. And from that, once you realize the amount of money, once you take the advertisers out of the picture, once you take the corporate overhead out of the picture, the amount of money that our time is actually worth is far more than people actually believe that it is. And this is an argument that I've been making this is an argument I've been making about Steam for over a year now. If the chest matches how much you mine, it seems to me it should vary by device. That I don't know. I don't know how quickly the thing, if that's what's happening, if it's mining in the background while you're watching, then yeah, it may be different. I don't know. Then my iPhone XR is really quick. Interesting that in and of itself. So so there it is. There you go. I just wanted to get everybody on board with understanding why this is going to happen and why we should do this and why we should support it, at least until they become shitlibs and shitbags and they shut the channel down. Whatever. What am I going to do? I'm not going to shut down the YouTube channel. I'm just going to deprecate the value of it live, right? So all of these will go up on YouTube. They'll all be available on YouTube. But I'm not really going to be checking YouTube comments except to tell people to move themselves over to DLive. That's my goal, because the more people who are over here, the more valuable this time is to me, and the more valuable this time is to me, the more sustainable it is. The more sustainable it is, the more I'm going to want to do it. And if you guys like what I'm doing, then I'm happy to continue doing it. And if we can, given where we are, I need to monetize all of my time that I do this, in order to make it worthwhile to all of us. Okay. So, a guy by the name of Charles Wayne, you can look it up on the website. He looks like a young guy. It's interesting to see what's going on. But who owns it, who started it, is a guy by the name of Charles Wayne. Who owns it are the people who own Lino, because it's a blockchain-based company. So we are the owners. Locked points will give you voting rights as to the direction that the platform grows into. So in some ways, you almost want to say, well, okay, well, if they become too shit-libby, well, that's fine. If we're the ones taking over the platform and we're the ones with the voting rights, we can block that from happening over time. And if we can't do it because we don't have critical mass on this platform, well, then somebody else can start up another platform. Because I got news for you. This didn't take very long to make. Okay? The guy who originally made DTube, which is the video service for Steam, took him 4 months. One guy, 4 months, got it all done. Okay. Now DTube is what it is, and I haven't been on it in a long time, but it was very rough early on, and I was a very early supporter of it, but it was very, very difficult to work with. Same thing with BitChute. They're just difficult to work with. But thank you, JJT Buck. I appreciate the diamond. But it's like everything else. You've got to, if you want to break out of what YouTube's doing, you can't ask them to change their ways. They're not going to. YouTube is a loss leader for Google anyway. They've been losing money on it for years. Part of the censorship thing is simply the fact that they're losing money. But when their top streamers, their top creators, their top revenue generators start leaving the service because, you know, they can make 10 times or 15 times the money that they're currently making on YouTube, why wouldn't they do it? My thoughts on BitChute. BitChute's been hard for me to work with. Day One Minecraft asked me, my thoughts on BitChute. It's been very hard to work with. You know, I don't have a lot of bandwidth, right? I have very crappy bandwidth. So I do my streaming through Restream because they have a server in Miami and I'm in North Florida. And, you know, Periscope's nearest one is in Virginia, which is terrible. The latency is awful. And the resolution is garbage. YouTube's, I'm not sure where theirs is, and it's also garbage. But Restreams is good, and the latency is tight, and the stream health is generally tight. But I mean, I'm on an 18 megabit DSL connection, 1 megabit up. I'm on a T1 connection up. Okay, it's not much, and therefore uploading a video that I've made of me talking, you know, these things come into these things are at 720p. They're huge relative to my bandwidth, and so BitChute regularly would lose the video. It was just a nightmare. It would never post, and it's the same thing. I had the same problem with DTube. I just don't have the bandwidth for this kind of thing. So part of the reason why I've moved to doing all of my videos as streams is that the streaming seems to work better. And so yeah, Laura Powers, get on DLive. What if the point of YouTube is censorship more than profit? It is. At this point, it has become that. It's become about corporate control and censorship of unapproved narratives, and a loss leader for Google because Google makes all of its money on its search engine and AdWords anyway. Always has. That's what the problem is. All right. Well, this has been fun. I didn't want this actually even drag on to drag on this long. I just wanted to like pop in and make this abundantly clear as to why we're doing this and why we're going to move over here for now. Day One Minecraft over on YouTube says, thank you, Tom. My wife is a quilter with 97,000 subs, and we're getting throttled. Going to start migrating our videos to another platform. Clearly, YouTube wants to scuttle little guys. It's not just that they want to scuttle little guys; it's that their advertising revenue is actually drying up, and they need to support. And their advertisers are just like in television. Their advertisers are telling them, "Well, you know, I got news for you. We're tired of people gaming the system, and we're tired of paying out ad revenue that we can't afford anymore for this stuff. So we have to start. They have to start throttling everybody's revenue because the model doesn't work." And that's the other part of it. So maybe this model will work, and hopefully it will. And hopefully, DLive would work for your wife, dude. I hope it does. And if this one doesn't work for you, well, then somebody else will. Because even guys like my wife watched like this. The last thing, my wife watches the Mink Man. I don't know if you guys know who the Mink Man is on YouTube. He's the guy who goes and he's got a bunch of minks and some dogs, and he goes out and he hunts rats with them. He's really pretty cool, but he's moved to Vimeo and a pure subscription model, $5 or $4 a month to watch him to watch his stuff on YouTube, to watch his stuff on Vimeo, simply because he can't stand the YouTube censorship. Online advertising is a scam. It's terrible. We see, as content creators, we see at best 5% of the revenue, and that's if you're someone like PewDiePie, who can drive mad eyeballs. Everybody else sees 1%, 0.1%, and Google takes the rest. You work your ass off to build a blog or build a YouTube channel that has, 50,000 people. And what do you make? What's your average take per video? Not much. You want the hat? $29 on Amazon. Is that actual buck? If it is, right? If it is, buck, welcome. The buck of old from the Periscope streams. So the Mink Man is awesome, right? He's really cool. But my wife doesn't watch him anymore because he's not going to pay him $4 a month. I mean, come on. DC Universe subscription is only $8 a month, and that gives me the entire back catalog of all their comic books and their shows and everything else. It's like, it's hard. I mean, I understand it, and I understand that there's a lot of fragmentation of what you want in your content and how much you're going to pay for it and everything. I know that I appreciate everybody who signs up on Patreon, whether you give me $1 a month, $4 a month, or $12 a month. I'm absolutely in, I'm completely chuffed that y'all do that, and I'm still amazed that anybody shows up into my streams on a regular basis. It's a ranting middle-aged Gen X asshole who who every once in a while says something remotely interesting. I don't know. So Deplorable on YouTube says there needs to be a very convenient way for people to click once and pay money to a content creator. DLive has that right now. Same thing was happening on Steemit. Same thing. Once you set up an account on Steam and you read one of my articles and you like the article, you just upvote it, and your voting power will translate into a reward for me directly. Yeah, no, Deplorable. That's the way DChat is set. That's the way DLive is set up. You buy some points, and then you click the number and you click the thing, and you give me a donation. It's really simple. The hardest part is that you have to buy some points up front or earn points through content consumption and interaction. Okay. DevPath says I've had no qualms about using my ad blocker while watching my favorite creators' videos. I know AdSense monetization was always a scam. You're absolutely right. EHK 144 says, Tom, you should let Lee Stranahan know about about DLive. He needs more revenue. Part of the reason why I did this morning, actually, I checked before I went live to see if anybody else was live, and Lee was live from London this morning on Periscope. When I was about to hit the start streaming button, and I said, well, let me wait until Lee is done, because maybe he'll pop in over here, or if not, then maybe he'll get a chance to watch what we're talking about, because yeah, I know that Lee needs more money. I know what he does is much more expensive than what I do. Lee's a good friend of mine. I'm on his radio show on Sputnik pretty much once a week, if not once every 7 or 8 days. So and we usually do a 40-minute segment, no less. It's a lot of fun, and he and Garland have been real friends to the channel and real friends to the blog and the newsletter and everything else. And they're real good guys, and I want to see them succeed in every way. And so, yeah, it would be good for Lee to bring that audience that he has on Periscope and bring it over here, and just a few Benjamins here and there make all the difference in the world. There's nothing, you guys have no idea. Even just seeing these little donations come through, penny here, 2 pennies there. Look, it matters. It matters to us. It really does. It gives us hope that we're doing the right thing. And when you see a super chat come through on YouTube, it's great, but YouTube's taking 30% of that. Why would you give YouTube 30% of your money for hosting the stream, which they're already making money on in the frickin' first place, which they would host without monetization? It's just a scam. So, all right, guys, this has been fun, but it's my daughter's birthday, and I promised her dad time all day. So I've got to go play World of Warcraft with my daughter, and I've got to go play a couple of board games with her, and then we're going to go order a pizza, and it's going to be a great day. She's a teenager today. Holy shit, my daughter's a teenager. It's insane. It really is. So there it is. You guys take care. Thank you so much for showing up. And yeah, we do. And so you guys, just so the new people know, this is mostly geopolitics and economics and stuff like that. This is a very heavy channel in terms of its content. I'm a hardcore libertarian, and I view the world through that lens. So if you liked what you heard today, follow, like, upvote, donate, do the thing, and share with everybody. I would really appreciate it. All right, you guys have a great afternoon. You take care. Be well. Keep your stick on the ice.